I'm Rick Keeler. Thanks for joining me. Taking in the current news just feels surreal. Is this a sci-fi movie or is it really happening? Media reports offer a continuous loop informing us of the number of new cases, new deaths, shortages, panic buying, government orders locking down cities, and businesses ceasing operations. As with previous crises, like say 9/11, we're in a time of transition. Many aspects of life, as we've known it, will never be the same again. This pattern is true of all transitions. The time for anticipation or getting ready for what was coming was short, and by many estimates was mishandled. We are now in a time of ending, as things that were familiar to us are gone. There will eventually come a time of passage where we slowly adjust to the new normal. What we do know is that after this pandemic is behind us, many aspects of life that we took for granted before won't look the same. What those are, we can guess, but we don't really know. So for right now, we must deal with the ending of what was so familiar to us. The pandemic affects each of us in similar and different ways. Some of us may be stricken by the virus or become caretakers to those that are. Some of us may lose our jobs, our houses, our savings. Some of us may lose loved ones. Economically, I see similarities to 2008, sharp market volatility and steep market declines that are leading to an inevitable economic contraction. While the market losses are well underway, the economic pain, I'm afraid that's just begun, and it will intensify over the coming weeks, months, and possibly year. As in 2008, our emotions are dealing with the fears of the financial and economic downturn. And this can be frightening to anyone, even financial advisors. The difference is that in 2008, we had each other. We could go out to eat, go to a show, gather with friends, and travel. What is happening right now is an emotional tsunami. In addition to the financial losses people are currently suffering, there is also fear for one's physical survival from the pandemic. There is the loneliness of being isolated from normal means of human contact, support, and nurturing. And all of this is in addition to a politically polarized nation in the midst of a presidential race, which is dividing the nation further. If you're feeling overwhelmed, numbed, hopeless, confused, with all the tasks and adjustments you need to make, the good news is you're normal. Here's something that you can do to help yourself cope. Susan Bradley, who's the founder of the Financial Transitionist Institute, suggests when we are overwhelmed and paralyzed with the volume of changes coming at us, we enter a temporary decision-free zone. To do this, first stop and make a list of every possible decision or task that's swimming in your head. Once your list is complete, divide everything on it into 3 categories. The first are things that must be done now. This might include installing software to enable working from home. This list is usually short and focused on the biggest controllable threats, notes Susan. The second one are things to be done soon. This longer list will be a mix of personal and financial items. As the items on the now list are taken care of, the items on the soon list will move up to the now list. And the third list is everything else that's left that can be done later. Susan calls this list a placeholder for other things that are important, but don't need to take up time right now. Organizing decisions and tasks in this way can make them feel more manageable and help relieve fear and paralysis. It gives you a timeline and a place to start, one item at a time. Thanks for joining me, and be well.